Conrad TV, no hearsay. Hey, hey.
Mayday.
It's Conrad TV, no hearsay. Hey, hey.
Mayday.
It's Conrad TV, no hearsay. Hey, hey.
Mayday.
It's Conrad TV, no hearsay. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. One thing is certain, it's gonna be crazy, yo.
Conversational radio TV, just different.
Hey, hey.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's the second hour of the show right here on Conversational Radio TV. If you don't know, now you know. Because earlier we had Mangoba Zungu, CEO of Get Ready Scales. He's also a speaker himself. He's a lecturer, also
and a wealthy black man.
And he's also a wealthy black man. Yeah. And I know, tomorrow now we start to want to sabotage the poor guy.
Don't have
jealous, you know. Because really, it's really just about growth. It's about the economy. It's about how we are going to transform, the mind. And once we've transformed the mind, then we can now start to transform the economy. We need to upskill our young people. We need to reskill already skilled individuals to plug into the fourth industrial revolution. Because we keep speaking about what can technology do for our economy. Are we even ready for the digital transformation? That is a question that we are trying to find out. Are the policies themselves in this country ready? Are they enabling? Because a lot of times we keep talking about an enabling environment. And yet we talk about let's grow small businesses, but yet at the same time, these small businesses themselves are finding themselves in a very difficult positions because of policy doesn't allow them to flourish in this very opportunistic environment. Now, obviously during lockdown, a lot of companies, there was COVID relief funding that was out, but there were some requirements that were not fitting to some of the small businesses. I'm not sure how many small businesses could not even get relief funding. You find that companies that were employing 200, 1,000 people couldn't even afford to pay salaries.
Yeah.
That's why the unemployment rate is increasing at an alarming rate. Like, it is scary, man. I'm thinking I'm probably hearing more stories of people breaking into people's homes. I'm hearing more stories about gender-based violence.
Gender-based violence, bohodu.
Inequality in the corporate space is becoming ridiculous.
In fact, one of our artists,
yeah,
actually, Tato, one of our artists,
yeah,
or one of our music artists,
yeah,
got arrested today.
Yeah,
yeah, got arrested today. No, I'm not going to mention his name. I can't.
Oh, man.
One of our artists, me and yours are artists. Pretoria, we've got a record company. So, one of our artists was arrested today. He calls me, phone lunch, and he sends a message. This guy was arrested, nah?
Yeah.
This guy was selling cigarettes, nah? Central, le, barging, some weed. I'm phoning lunch,
trying to get out of
and
jail.
he doesn't call me like that. Like, he never calls me like that.
Yeah.
I'm phone at Ejo. Because that guy, that's what
it was an economic
He was working.
decision.
Like, he had a job. He had a job, but he was let go. But when you used him earning money, that's what he did. And then, but then we'll talk about that. We'll talk about, in fact, I'm surprised I'm only telling you this now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be an interesting one. Let us welcome the CEO of Black Business Council, Mr. Kanki Matabane, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, that's a beautiful jam produced by one of ours, Mr. Lani Olani. Did not know that this man can produce such beautiful music, man.
This guy sent me a beat. I laced it. I haven't sent it to you yet.
No, we work with very talented people.
Of course.
Very talented people.
Mulamu, guys.
I'm
the least talented person in this whole team.
Oh, wow. Just because of a Naman, I can't speak in legal terms. Now I'm charged at you. This guy, he spoke, I think, even maybe 3 weeks ago about, is it me being an attorney, does it make me a better rapper?
Oh my God, who said that? I've never said that.
Hey, man, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Welcome, Tate Matabano. to our show. Thank you for taking time. I know that there's many other responsibilities that you have on your table. You are sorting out the country's issues.
But we want to hear you. We want to hear you.
I'm a bit closer to the
Ntate Khanki, it's great. And I think also in the platform, we've got very, very great leaders in the different spaces. Ntate Fanani, from the CEO of Sampra. We've had Ntate from BLA. So what is it that we are about? We are about real conversation that are about transforming Black lives.
Yes.
Right. And we are very, very specific to also have the CEO of Black Business Council
We're
to fully understand,
extremely privileged.
right, the scope of work that Black Business Council does, the responsibility that you have, what are some of the challenges that also as the Black Business Council are having in trying to promote inclusion in the economy, because we have a very we don't have a very inclusive economy.
We don't. But then to start off with, because unfortunately, the people who are acquainted with the BBC or know about it are people who actually know what it's about, and some of our audience does not know its mandate.
Yeah.
And in fact, I'm not sure if I'm even clear on the mandate.
Yeah.
So if you can just share with us what the mandate of the Black Business Council is. I think that would be a great start.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me here on a Friday.
You'd rather be doing something else.
But the restaurants are open, but they're not serving everything. So chances I'll be at home, because I think it's still important that we stay at home.
Yeah.
And only go out when it's necessary.
When it's necessary.
Yes.
Otherwise, we need to, as they say, we need to flatten the curve.
Yeah.
And try by all means to be safe. The pandemic is very serious.
Yeah.
So if we can, let's stay at home. Let's just go out in case there are essential things that we need to do. But I think just to start with the BBC, we are a confederation of Black business in the country. So to give an example, I think that people may be familiar with is COSATU. So we are like a COSATU of Black business.
Yeah.
So we don't have individuals joining us as members. Individuals come through associations or affiliates. And they come through companies. So, for example, the Black Lawyers Association is a member. So the members of the Black Lawyers Association, they will interact with us via Black Lawyers Association. So they get nominated to serve on various committees. There are so many of them. Black Management Forum, we've got NAFCOC, APSIP, Black Accountants, Black Engineers.
APSIP is the banking one.
Yeah. And then NAF, which is a National Association of Farmers Union. We've got Santaco. We've got Saptaco. We've got the Hairdressers Association. So
it's diverse.
We basically the eminent representative of Black business in the country. And what we mainly do, we're mainly a policy and a lobby organization.
Okay.
So we look at the policies that the country has and that the country have, and we try and make sure that they favor the inclusion of Black people. So our objective is to ensure that Black people, who are the majority in the country, play a meaningful role in the mainstream economy.
So apart from lobbying to have on policy and etc., in your own right as the BBC, right? In your own right, because you mentioned a whole lot of reputable members, as it were. What, besides looking out for policy and the inclusion, as an organization of this magnitude, because this is a great organization, it's a huge organization. What are you doing apart, just within the economy of BBC, as it were? Let me put it like that, because BBC is an economy in its own. What are you doing to achieve the objectives that you're trying to do nationally, but within the BBC?
Yeah, so what we've realized that our members who are mainly small businesses, I think around 70% are small businesses. Businesses were owned by young people, businesses were owned by women, and businesses owned by people living with disabilities. So what we've realized that there are mainly two challenges that the members are facing. It's access to funding and access to the market. Those are the main things. If you solve those two, the rest you can always solve, like mentorship, and you can always solve those. But those are the main two issues. So what we have done, in addition to the policy that we do, was to say, how do we then try and facilitate that our members are able to interact with either the funders or the market. So we've been having these sessions before COVID came. But we've started now, we were doing them virtually, where, for example, we'll go to big businesses. Because what we sort of realize is that big businesses will say they're struggling to get black suppliers. Black suppliers will then come and say they're struggling to
get access.
The same with funding. The funders will come and say, we were looking for people with the viable projects. But when we look at our members, the members say, but we cannot access funding.
Exactly.
So what we then do, we sort of create what we call networking sessions, where we would then bring the funders, bring our members, or bring the big business or government, big SOCs, like ESCOM and Transnet, also they can enable small businesses to access opportunities, and then we bring them together in sessions, and we're very specific that, for example, when we invite, we don't necessarily invite the CEOs of those organizations. We invited people who are actually doing the work, who are interacting with members, so that when someone comes and say, I've applied to a financial institution A, they must be able to
actually give the details.
Rather than say, no, I'm going to consult.
I'm very passionate about the BBC. Like just what we spoke about downstairs before we even started. I'm very passionate about it because the BBC has the potential and the muscle to actually make a difference in commerce for black people in general, right? And for instance, and I think that, like, you need, as the CEO, you need to be extremely unapologetic about enforcing this, because, for instance, you'll find that some of your members, right, are procuring services or products from non-black businesses. By default, that should mean expulsion from the BBC, you know what I mean? Because it defeats the purpose, you know what I mean? So I think, is there any mechanism that you're putting in place to make sure that, okay, look, where you link, apart from linking your members with investors and suppliers, but where you linking them with each other, you have like a newsletter or maybe a marketplace, a virtual marketplace where you're like, okay, here's suppliers. In the BBC, we've got members who are
similar to Brown Sense.
Yes, like we've got suppliers of this and this and that, blah blah, so that people can now come source whatever they want to source on the database at BBC.
We currently don't have that type of database, but I think I'll jot it down, and then I think something that is worth looking at and exploring. So you recall the companies will have, maybe let me go a little bit back. We've got the scorecard, which is the BE scorecard. So a lot of companies, when they procure, and I think the drafters of the scorecard were trying to say, let's utilize this scorecard to try and have a ripple effect on transformation. Because now, for example, when companies purchase, they are looking at the scorecard of where they are buying. So that they can then force everyone else in the value chain to transform. And then I think that is what we, because what we also fought for was the BE Act, and then the BE Act came with the scorecard, because in business anything that does not get measured does not get done.
Of course.
There are unintended consequences of the scorecard, because sometimes other people they're just ticking the boxes. But generally, the objectives are good, because they will force other people. You make sure that if you don't purchase from someone who's got a better level, it will affect your own level.
Exactly. Yes.
So you have to do it that way, in a legalistic manner at the beginning, until people get used to it to an extent that then they start to implement the spirit of the act.
Yeah.
Because we when we talk about the spirit, we're talking about the environment where when you say you are level 1, you should actually look like level 1.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be on paper.
Because at the moment, because
And many
people
companies are like that.
people are still ticking the boxes. You go to that company and realize, but no, this can't be level 1.
It's a little way.
but also you cannot blame those companies. You have to change the law, because if the law is too easy for anyone to meet the targets, you can't blame the players. If you've got the rules.
Do you have any idea?
Hey, wena o tla ba taboga mona passion hao o tla bera le bala kana re mo show mona ena o tla di tshwara ka montle.
I think he must come and join the BBC.
No, because by virtue of being part of BLA,
we need him.
He's already a
Believe it or
member.
not, I'm not a member of BLA.
But
You're
he
not a
must
member
come
of
to
BLA.
committees.
He must come to committees.
He must come to the committees.
No, man, because we
Yeah.
have here Patunator who says we have ideas to grow technology, but accused to market is difficult. Well, maybe access is
Access, that's exactly what he's trying to say.
So what Patunator is saying, that we have the technology to create a platform like that for the BBC, where you're able just to plug in all the different vendors and put them together and plug them in. Because I think it's a very, very important thing.
It's important, like, to have that marketplace.
Yeah.
Because one thing I've realized is that, look, there's a growing consensus over conscious black buying.
Yeah.
Now, today, when I'm looking to buy something, I'm looking for black merchants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I wanted to ask is that, do you have any idea of the collective revenue that your members have in a given year? Do you have access to their books at all? Like, do you have an idea of the collective revenue that they make per year, per annum?
Not necessarily. We don't have that type of a report. I think that we're working with the BE Commission of the DTI that is trying to develop such things. Because
And the commissioner is a female, by the way.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
boss
yeah,
of the
yeah.
BE Commission.
Yeah, and she's good.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
I think that there are other issues. For example, we still have a mindset issues.
Yes.
Where you ask a lot of young people, they will tell you, no, they don't have faith in black doctors, black lawyers, black engineers.
Yeah.
And when we charge them, white fees, they say, "I want to."
Yeah. And that is also killing. It's also killing black business. Because we are not supposed to ask for unnecessary discounts.
Yeah.
The businesses must also thrive like any other business. Must be able to make money, pay people very, very well, so that they can be able to appoint the best. But I think we still need to work on the mindset.
Absolutely.
That's the primary.
Yeah, and I think the person who's got the capability, our email address is info at blackbusinesscouncil.africa.
Info at blackbusinesscouncil.africa.
Yeah.
Info at blackbusinesscouncil.africa.
That's
Send
for
us
you
an
there,
email.
Patunator.
Yeah, we'll then take it up with them, and then we'll see where this thing is
can
going.
go.
But I think it's important to develop that type of a database, because then you'll be able to talk about proper information and data that you have.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think, I mean, Ntate Matlala, in his very passionate speech, you know, he raised very, very valid points, which I'm very agreeable to. It's about really setting up a whole system. And the mindset does really need to change. And I think if it fails to change within the BBC, right, it will not instill confidence.
Yes, it can never filter out.
Yeah,
to
it can never
everybody
it can never filter out. But yet I still believe that it's an opportune time and things will change. I'm always hopeful that things will change, because of also I want us as a country to practice patience. You know, because yes, we live in a very instant gratification economy. You know, where the Gen Zs, yes, if I'm correct, the Gen Zs, you know, the younger ones who say that, hey man, I've gone to school, therefore I must be at a particular place in my life.
I deserve.
You know, I deserve. And you know, you invite and you say, hey, BBC is holding a forum, or they're holding an event, and people are like a no-show. People are like a no-show, and then they say that government does not do this. Then they want to blame Mr. Khanki, saying, yeah, but you know, BBC does not give us opportunities. Not understanding also that BBC has probably, I don't know how many calls you get, Mr. Khanki, just people asking for opportunities.
Exactly.
You know, and obviously, you know, you need to, you know, take them one by one and understand fully. But one of the things, Ntate Matlala, sorry, before Ken, what I love about your LinkedIn page, Ntate Matlala, is that I always see black people that you literally promote. I mean, today I think you're promoting a young lady who's got dishwashing soap. You know, so that's also by itself is something about, you know, which speaks to also one thing that we do is called promote my business. You know, we just let people to send in your voice note and then promote your business.
Give them a platform.
And you give them a platform. So before ke a lo Ntate Matlala, I think ena yone ke interview ya Ntate Matlala.
So here's the funny thing. Like, Tato and I had a conversation. I was like, you know what? I've known about the BBC. Like, BBC is something I've grew up knowing about. And it's always been something that I was like, this is great. This is beautiful. We need that. We need that. But I feel like sometimes, I don't know. But that Hanki are working by themselves as a CEO. You're working by yourself, and when you are a CEO of, for instance, I would imagine of the BBC. It is largely political. It's political. I would imagine. Whereas there's contrasting views, and especially when you're talking about policy. The minute you're trying to influence policy, it becomes a political game. Whereas you start forgetting, or not even forgetting. You don't forget because the focus is still there, but your attention starts moving on to, like, it starts being focused on political aspects. And this is why I'm loving this conversation. The BBC, I love it. Like I love it. So I even forgot what I wanted to say. So for instance, you mentioned that they said 70% of your membership is like the small businesses, etc., etc. So there's, for instance, Tato, right? Yes, I know he's not where he wants to be, but he's got a very good business, successful business, right? A going concern that is doing very well. But he's not a member of the BBC. Are you a member of the BBC?
I think Saleka was on that Mataban about how, but we are working on it. We are working on it. We are working on it.
I'm still going there. I'm still going there. So do I. And it's not the only one. So do I. I've got businesses, not a member of the BBC. And there are other black people with businesses that are not members of the BBC. Why do you think that is? And what is the BBC doing to attract to attract the caliber of Botato? Because a person like Tato, as much as he's an incredible entrepreneur, he's got the following and the attention to actually bring so much value that, I'm not saying the BBC doesn't have value. It obviously does. It's an incredible organization, but it can add to it and make it an organization almost like the brother bond. Do you know what I mean? No, seriously. It can happen. You know what I mean? So what is the BBC doing to almost like to attract the likes of us? Because us as the youth, we're like, And I can almost guarantee you that most of the young people who have joined the BBC, it's more for opportunity instead of trying to add value to the BBC.
It's not about the consciousness of the
Yeah,
movement, because of the consciousness
it's
of
an opportunistic
you know,
move. You know what I mean? So what is the BBC doing to attract the likes of Mr. Suhume Tatomulamu over here?
Ay, Braga. I think that
I need to join. Yeah, I need to join one of the committees.
Yeah, no,
because
no,
we need that energy and the passion that you have. Yeah, maybe let me start with the issue of policies. I think policies takes long.
Yeah.
So when you're dealing with those policies, it's not like something that will happen tomorrow. For example, we're busy up until the end of last month. Yeah, we're busy dealing with what is called the public procurement bill.
Yeah.
It's for those who are doing business with government will understand it. We had what is called, we have now currently triple PFA.
Yeah.
So when government procures, they use a legislation, and we've been fighting for that for the past 10 years to say this legislation is the one that is called like 80-20, 90-10.
Did you say 10 years?
Yeah. The legislation has been there
It takes long.
since 2000. So the legislation has been there for 20
That's
years.
20 years.
But we've been fighting for that to say this needs to change,
Yeah.
or the legislation must be repealed.
Yeah.
Because any big company can come and have zero BEE,
Yeah.
and then they get the transaction because they can cost you, they can undercost you.
Yeah.
So we've been fighting for that. Then the opportunity came where the legislation was put for public comment, and a lot of people don't necessarily comment.
Yeah.
And then they later, when when this becomes an act, that's when people complain, because then they start to interact it with it on
When it's long gone.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
and
Yes,
by that time
yes.
you can't do anything. And we've been calling for young people specifically to say, when there are legislations, they are there for a reason. Come and participate.
Yeah.
Come with ideas, because once it's passed, it's going to take longer to change it or to amend it. But I think we're a little bit successful, but I think we still have a lot to convince people to stop feeling entitled.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
to come back to your
very important.
You know that
Yeah.
that sense of entitlement in that. I mean, even earlier we spoke about it, and everybody seems to think that things must just come to you. And I used to ask the question, Ahore, is it because we said the slogan "free for all" since 1994, and then everybody just thought that everything is for free? I want us to touch on that after we play the Promote My Business slot, where we're going to have a business that is going to play a voice note. And whoever is listening on our live stream, do make sure that you take down the notes, do take down their number. If you need those services, please, please, please reach out to them. Support black business. It's a lifestyle, this thing, man. Hare claim you're not a pela.
Hello, this is Pearl Nitanda, the founder of Respect Makeup, and my business partner is Puledi Didi. Madidi Malish is also the founder of Respect Closet. What we basically do is to sell clothes and makeup, but we just sell female clothes. So we don't really have an actual store, but we working on getting the actual store. So we have an Instagram page which you can follow us, which is respect underscore closet underscore. I'll repeat that, respect underscore closet underscore. We also have a Facebook page which is respect underscore closet. We will be introducing a new brand which is now kept as a secret, but stay tuned for more from Respect Closet. And our personal accounts are as follows: Pearl underscore Netanda and Didi Malo Zedea. I have a Facebook account of which you can follow me under. It's Pearl Netanda. And your support will be really, really appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Respect. Ladies and gentlemen,
That's
you know,
another potential member.
it's another potential
We
member.
see, yeah.
Actually, you know what, Muso Matlala? I think Conversational Radio TV must be a lobby member.
We should make it incumbent.
We
On-
will
on
lobby
promote
for
my
Black
business.
Business Council.
Yes,
That and I can show if you will be ready, because right now when we lobby,
We lobby.
We lobby.
We lobby.
we'll bring the
We'll
young
do it for
people to
real.
be members, because I think it's important. Oh yeah, we also have KCN Trail from Jamaica joining in the conversation, just asking for us to speak English. KC, we'll try to speak as
Our
much English
data
as we
bundles
can.
are finished.
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday.
They were depleted yesterday.
Last night.
You know, they sell makeup, guys. You know, check them out. If ever you missed it, also go to Conversational
on our
Radio
page,
TV.
yeah.
We'll put it on our page. You can also go to our YouTube page, Conversational Radio TV. Catch the podcast, and if you've missed other podcasts, you can catch them again.
On the page. Just follow the page. Everything is there.
Follow the page, and you on my page right now, you can go on our live stream on Conversational Radio TV. Entitlement, Ntate Matabane. What are we going to do, or what is it that we need to do? Parents are struggling to get their youngsters at home to understand the value of respect, commitment, passion when it comes to businesses. Because of our parents themselves also today are also living in the economy trying to make sure that they keep the lights on. Now, I'm not sure, right, is it that we're having the wrong conversations? Because these conversations are happening, and they're happening, a lot of them are happening.
Yeah.
You know, BBC probably hosts, I think, a lot of meetings. What is it that the BBC can do, right, just from a messaging perspective, supporting parents, but also getting young people to understand that in this market and in this place of entrepreneurship, there has to be a sense of patience.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah, I think for some reason there's impatience, and I think people, they've got what is called popcorn mentality.
Yeah.
Where you think things must just happen quick. But
Yeah.
I think maybe it's also the issue of role modeling, and I think the media can play a big role in there, because if the media continuously show people who are young, they get a tender there,
Yeah.
and then they show off.
Instagram.
Range Rover.
16 cars.
Range Rover is the choice of car.
Yeah, and that put pressure on the poor kids to say, but
Yeah.
why must I wait for 20 years?
When I can
Uh,
just
When
when
I
I
can
can,
have it
when
in-
I can,
in
yeah,
3 months.
When my neighbor got it in 3 months.
Yeah.
So I think we need to have those conversations. But I think coming to the parents, a typical black parent
Yeah.
is going through a lot. You're trying to get the best education
Yeah.
for your kids. You
Yeah.
have trying to get the best security for yourself.
Yeah.
The best private medical arrangements, and that puts pressure on you.
Yeah.
And as a result, you end up in a way you don't have time,
Yeah.
so you outsource raising of kids to the helpers.
Yeah.
By the time you come home, you are exhausted. You're very tired. You don't have much time to have conversations because you're under pressure. You are working. Even when you get home, you spend a few minutes, eat, and then go back to the laptop. Because a typical black parent is got a full-time job.
Yeah.
They've got the side hustle.
Yes.
So
Kamu gini kerek ini.
tombstones unveiling. Yeah, so you don't have much time for yourself even. And then most of us were going through a lot in terms of psychological pressures.
Yeah.
So I think we need to find a way of then how do we with that limited time we have the right conversation. But I think the media plays a very significant role, because as the parents are absent, the kids are busy consuming content, media content,
Exactly.
and that is actually how they want to they end up wanting to raise themselves. looking at the celebrities.
Exactly.
They model what they see on TV.
And those celebrities are not members of the BBC. That's the problem. We must join.
Ah,
we must join. No. So here's the thing. As business people, no, we must.
No,
I'm agreeing.
I agree,
And I'm
we have
saying
to
even
join.
right now to Busi Somfundo, who says, please pin this topic.
Yes.
Zugulu says, yo, please pin the page again,
it's
please. Because
extremely-
what
it's
you just
extremely-
touched on, I think the listeners are saying, we are agreeing to what you're
And
saying.
adding to that, and I just want to ask, when we're talking about how kids are
Being raised,
are
yeah.
being exposed to certain media, etc. How strong is the BB's is the Black Business Council's research? Like, do you guys have like a research almost think tank now, or whereas you actually have a team that's like researching what first of all, how big is the black business turnover annually in the country, which is probably trillions. Yeah, I'm sure that it's trillions.
Yeah.
Because I mean, in the townships, this bazaar shop is 80 billion. It's
Yeah.
80 billion.
Yeah.
man.
You stopped
We
failing
learned.
as well.
We
Yeah.
just learned yesterday on a Zoom meeting
Yeah.
with people that should join the BBC
Yeah.
that the Muti market in itself it's 4 to 6 billion. Muti market,
Yeah.
4 to 6 billion per annum. So we're talking about all these, whereas it's black businesses. It is a black business. Yes, it's based on belief, and yes, because some of us are bakreste or whatever. But when we think economy, black economy, those are the things we should be taking into consideration. So, and so I just want to ask, maybe you have it in the pipelines to have like a research arm.
Yeah.
That's like saying, Brahangi, hape komuti. Better 6 billion. So,
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think it's definite opportunities. But give out or interest maybe in that Matabano now and then I'll come after you.
Yeah, we do have research capacity, but
Yeah.
I think it can be strengthened.
Yeah.
Because I think also I think it's a question of trying to prioritize. And I think what you raise is important. Then we'll look at those type of things. So we have to prioritize according to the capacity that we have. Hence, I think it's important that we need to get a lot of young people coming through our associations and coming to us and volunteering.
Yeah.
Because you must understand this is a
voluntary association.
So most of the people they don't want to volunteer.
Yeah.
They don't want to contribute. They want to take.
They want to take. They just want.
Yeah.
They just want and want.
Yeah,
That's the problem. Yeah.
And that's not how life works. The way life works is that the more you contribute, the more things happen to you and happen for you.
You create your own karma.
Yeah. That's how we do. You do it by contributing, by volunteering.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't want to volunteer because wherever they go, they start by saying, "What is in it for me?" Instead of saying, "If we make this thing sustainable, make it strong, it will ultimately work for all of us, and we're going to end up benefiting."
Rotely.
Yeah.
But Tata, I think that in my little opinion, you're finding that this thing is so indoctrinated in us from a very young age, and we don't even see it. Right, and when you speak about media, it's something that I touch on a lot of times about we need to start having even different conversations, even with the national broadcaster, right? Because we need to start to say the kind of content that you are allowing our kids to consume, because you've got educational content which plays usually between 11 to 3 o'clock motshehar, when a lot of young people are at school.
That's cool, yeah.
When they come back from school, that very same education, that extra class they could have taken on a free broadcasting channel like the SABC, which SABC 1 has the highest reach.
Yeah.
Re na le bothata ba gore anong come 6 o'clock ke di soap and great stories because they are supposed to create conversations.
Yeah.
But then there are just certain narratives that we forget. When people say, "Hey, we've got celebrities here," how does the Black Business Council plug into those conversations? Because I think you must also be very intentional as the Black Business Council to say, okay, there's Mubango, there's Generations. How do you plug in there to promote the mandate of the Black Business Council? I think also
And even the
partnerships
production companies are black businesses. A lot
Yes.
of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I think especially for public broadcaster, you also have to check their limitations.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the delay in digital migration is actually disadvantaging the country.
Yeah.
Because in digital migration, for example, the SABC can have like 20 channels.
Yeah.
And the more channels you have, you then have a scope to bring more content.
And
Yeah.
create more opportunities and more jobs and build more businesses.
Yeah, so that's why even today we were talking about how can we post-COVID,
Yeah.
how can we make the economy to work? And one of the issues was we were saying we need to speed up the digital migration because
True.
that will open a lot of opportunities for even producers and content producers and so on.
Yeah.
Because then they can go and approach the public broadcaster and say, we know you've got so many channels, we want to plug in here. And then you'll be able to then have the capacity to have those discussions and conversations when the kids are there at home. But because now there's a limitation in terms of the number of channels that they can have, I think that they're trying to do the best under circumstances.
You know, that Matabane, one thing I think, you know, I'm very passionate about the creative sector and the opportunities within it. You know, we made an example, 2017, research stats came out that Hollywood alone, the creative sector is more than $756 billion. Right? One film in the US can create 16,000 jobs for a period of 6 months. Similar to what the construction company will probably only employ maybe 1,000. So I know what it's also been looked at as a hobby sector, right? But I'm saying the models are there, the research is there. Animation alone in Japan, you know, it's over $80 billion.
I'd even challenge you, I'd even challenge you and say, it's not even 6 months. Because the movie that's playing, Ko Mnet, or Ko Movie Magic Plus, or Mnet Action, is employing someone called Mnet, who's been there for years. And that movie came out 5 years ago.
Even 20
So
years ago.
It even expands beyond that. And funny enough, in South Africa, we have a culture of saying the creative industry is not really business, and I think that is also it's a colonial implantation, but not implantation, but it's something that has been instilled colonially. Whereas when people use actual talent, especially when they're black, it doesn't carry any weight.
I think that's why it's important that the industry get organized. And come to join us.
It's extremely important.
And come to join us as an organized structure, because it's easier when you are organized. Because I think the other issue that we're having as a challenge in the country is we are not united.
And you see it in our industry, you see it a lot.
And through unity, you can achieve a lot. Because then when you approach, for example, you approach the Department of Arts and Culture, being united, it's easier for them to listen to you.
Yes.
But also you can even come with the united approaches and united proposals. Unlike now where you go and then it's 100 proposals. You can imagine if you are sitting there as the DG or the Minister of Arts, you don't even know where to go if you want to engage. So I think it's important that the sector gets organized.
But wait. I think we get it. But some at home, there's a reason why Tata is the president of the BBC, and that's because he's a businessman. So let's explore the businessman. Go to with BBC. Like I feel like we've just been, you know what I mean? What business are you in? What industry are you in? Because at the end of the day, like you have great business acumen. I would imagine that's why you're the president. And I feel like we'd be robbing our audience.
I was going to get there, but absolutely right.
So what kind of business are you in, and what was the road to becoming the president? Like what industry, etc.
Firstly, I'm not the president. I'm the CEO.
I mean CEO.
The president.
No, he has presidential ambitions.
CEO. I use them interchangeably.
No, it's not the same thing.
No, it's not.
The CEO gets appointed and then the president
Gets elected.
So there's a difference there. So where do I start? I come from Limpopo, in a village called Makurung, and I did my matric there I finished my matric when I was 17.
Yeah.
I didn't have money to start. Then I went to work as a teacher in another village called Mafefe, and I was I think I was 19 when I was a teacher there.
Nice.
And that's a long time ago. I think that's like 1991.
I remember Negileko exile, Mara.
So you can imagine.
MK.
Yeah, everyone claims the struggle credentials.
No, but I was with him in Mozambique.
So you can imagine teaching. So I was teaching maths, accounting, and economics.
But that's accounting and economics.
Yeah, but I think most of the kids were older than me. So you can imagine the
Mathad. Okobali Musa le 23.
And the ratio in class also was not like 40 people. It was like almost 100 people in class. So it was a bit difficult to navigate there. And then I then studied cost and management accounting. From there, then I started when I was at it's now called UJ. It was West Technicon then. I was working during the weekend, so I don't know if you remember Starterfords before it gets closed.
Marasiakale Starterford.
I used to work there.
Smart Center, Yakalo. It is Smart Center.
No, I know those ones.
The Variksa Basusi.
I worked at Starterford during school holidays, weekends.
Yeah.
In the one in Eastgate. So sometimes we wouldn't have transport because I was staying in Auckland Park. The transport drops you like in Hillbrow, then you have to walk.
It was a dangerous walk. That one.
It was a very dangerous
walk.
Dangerous walk. So for some reason, I think you just survive. And but I think that was a good learning experience to say. Again, to say things don't come easy.
Yeah.
You really have to work.
Yeah.
You have to work hard. And I was also assisting students during with their computers, end user computing. Like Microsoft Word, Excel, and so on. And then I completed. I went to work in Rustenburg at one of the Anglo mines at the refinery. It's called base metals refinery. That's where they refine base metals like copper and so on. And I think I spent like 5 years there. I came back because that was in Rustenburg. Came back here but I then decided, let me just get involved and also let me identify mentors and approach people. Some will say no, some will not respond. But if you will respond,
That's how busy. We're so.
Wait again, for the sake of time, get told.
But I think the lesson is that you must never give up. So if you identify 20 people, one response
that's enough.
It's a positive. It's a start.
It's a positive.
And I think that also then gives you confidence to keep on approaching more. Because once you have mentors, they will be able to assist you in navigating some of the things. And also they'll be able to sell you when you are not there. Because it's important that when certain conversations are had somewhere when you are not there, you can have a spokesperson who will say, but no, I believe in this person. He can be able to do this. So I think to the young people, it's important to identify people. I think sometimes it's a bit challenging when you see someone and then you think, hey, how am I going to approach that person?
Yes.
But it's easier to get contact details of people. It's, if you really want to get them, it's much easier to get them.
So you see me, I'm a football fan.
Yeah.
And I see that you are wearing a Man City shirt. I can't see the badge. All I see is TR and Airways. And I know it's City. And do you know what my theory is?
Yeah.
My theory is this. Anybody who supports Man City, there's a real team that they actually left. Because about this table look. Are you an Arsenal fan? Chelsea Arsenal. Come on, Nathan. Well, I think it's Arsenal. It's Arsenal. Because many people leave Arsenal.
Musa Matan.
No, come Rapela Brahangi. Who do you support? Who did you support before Man City?
Moroka Solos.
Okay.
Okay, no, sure. I just want to read just a couple of messages. Mona, talk about Arsenal. Tevin Traffic says, preach. Busima says, we need to change the narrative in our own homes and executive. We talk buy local, but we can audit your house. We will not find 5% of black products manufactured in Mzansi. And then Tevin says, how can we as black people, the generational gap within the entertainment industry? I mean, 5% of products in people's homes, not even local. That by itself, it's a concern. I mean, in our sector, I think it was a couple of years ago, 400 million left the country in royalties.
Yeah. I think one of the issues that we in our strategy for post-COVID recovery is reindustrialization and localization.
Okay.
Because I can guess even from sitting in this studio, South Africa, we don't manufacture all this, almost everything that is here.
Yeah.
The cameras, everything else is not manufactured here.
Yeah.
So we have to have that strategy that is deliberate to say, even if you cannot manufacture here, because also we must understand we're not a big country. In the bigger scheme of things.
Yes.
We're very, very tiny. So people can choose not to come and sell anything here, and then they can still survive. So we need to come with a strategy that says, even if you cannot manufacture here, let's assemble here. Because by assembling here, then you are bringing those products incomplete. You create a factory here, and then you can assemble. Because once you assemble, you'll also be able to then maintain.
And there's also
because
skills
you need technicians
important.
that they can then assemble. But when that equipment is broken, they can then fix it. That way you are able to create local jobs, utilizing the IP that is international.
Like most of the Asian countries did.
Yeah, like even for example, we even masks and simple things like masks that we can produce here, we're basically importing them. So we need to change that mindset because there are things that are not necessarily complicated that you can do them here. We need to then identify those things and then focus on them and produce them here. But we have to have the market.
Absolutely.
Because it doesn't help for you to start a manufacturing company for masks, but there's no market.
Exactly.
Hence, we've been fighting for the change of procurement methods and procurement laws to say the procurement law must be able to then say, if you are manufacturing here, we must prefer you than someone else who import these things and bring them here. So the entire value chain has to be able to talk to each other.
No, I absolutely agree. And I think also here we have Vicky Ratsefola. Hello, this is Vicky. We produce and manufacture. Well, I think we assemble BMW.
Nerida 3 series. What happened to that?
But now my question is, why then are we still being charged like it's Wago Jimin?
Because
of it, that for me was just a mind-boggling thing. It's here. But then you still charge me at premium price, 300% more than the actual value.
So the thing with South Africa is this, and I'm not giving you any informed answer, but I think it has a lot to do with labor in South Africa. So we've got a very strong unionized sector, business sector in South Africa. Whereas, if you're going to shed jobs, chief, if you're going to charge anything less, it means shedding jobs. It means shedding jobs. Remember, we could be paying Joe close to what the USA pays. Ford Motor Company.
Yeah.
The cars are being made there, but they're being sold at a premium to us. And I think it's primarily because of labor. And obviously, government and labor, when it comes to this, are in bed because you have ANC, you have COSATU, right? So you need to make sure that there's jobs, because the minute, okay, that's another discussion for
but there are issues of tariffs.
Yes, tariffs as well. Yes,
because tariffs get negotiated internationally.
Yes.
It's not like a South African issue.
Yes.
You've seen, for example, even with the chicken issues.
Yeah. But remember, if it's made in South Africa,
with the steel
it doesn't
issues.
leave.
It will be cheaper.
It doesn't leave. It's
Aliko Dangote did the same for the Nigerian economy, right? He said that buy Nigerians, right? And it's changing the import-export ratio.
Yeah.
And he did that very, very well. And I think we're well on the way. But we've got 3 minutes left in that. A legacy that you want to leave as a CEO.
As the CEO of BBC. And we're going to hold you. How long is your term? First of all, quick, yes, before we wrap up. How long is your term of
I don't have a term, so
It's not term.
yeah.
How long have you been CEO?
It's 2 years and some
Is it
few
fine
months.
if we call you back every year
Yeah.
to find out the progress that you've made on the legacy that you're about to tell us that you want to leave?
Because I believe in
Yeah,
you.
we can do that.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing is to try by all means to unite black business.
Yeah.
Because if you are not united, we are not going to achieve a lot.
Yeah.
We are going to be fighting at some corner there while the economy is running. So that is important. Also to build capacity at the BBC, to build the serious research capacity, because similar organizations all over the world, they even selling their capacity, their research capacity. If government wants to understand a certain thing, or big business want to understand something, they're supposed to approach us and say, please give us data on this. So it's important to build that research capacity, because as a lobbying organization, the research capacity must be the best. Must be the best amongst ourselves.
Fikira Sefola says, good point, Tato. We are charged other taxes as well. Please explain, if the car is manufactured here, why are the taxes not? Why is there no tax decrease? And I don't think it is labor only. What about the taxes, Batu?
Yeah, it's not necessarily labor, because if you look at Germany,
it's cheap to buy a BMW in Germany.
The labor union
Because
is very, very strong, because even in boards, the board of Mercedes-Benz and
But
BMW,
the unemployment
they've got the
levels
labor.
are not like ours.
Not yet, so.
You safeguard employment here. Otherwise, you're out of government.
So I think wrap it up in 1 minute.
I think the tariff things are negotiated at the ITO. I think ITU. So
ITU,
if the negotiations there are not favorable to smaller countries, we'll have the same situation that we have now. So we don't necessarily manufacture those cars. We were assembling. Most of the time we're assembling the parts. Some of the parts are not coming from here.
I see. No. Redukwile from Ntate Khanki Matabane, CEO of Black Business Council. Ladies and gentlemen, all our listeners, all our loyal family, please make sure that
We
you
love
follow,
you so much, guys.
Follow Black Business Council. Look out at what they're doing. We are asking you to be members. Do register, lobby, come together, do the right thing, be safe, wear your mask, sanitize, just go and get essential services. Please, gender-based violence, it's gents. We can't stop talking about this thing. Tate Matabane, thank you very much, and for always taking my calls. You know this gentle brother. He will respond if I send a message. Ka 12 ka 1. And that shows leadership.
Spoiler.
Bye, everybody. Thank you very much.
It's Conrad TV, no hearsay. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey. One thing is certain, it's gonna be crazy, yo.
Conversational radio TV, just different.
Hey.